The Shocker of the Year nominees: Seth Rollins cashing in Money in the Bank at WrestleMania at the end of WrestleMania 31, Jon Stewart costing John Cena the U.S. title at SummerSlam, Kevin Owens beating John Cena in his debut WWE match at Elimination Chamber, Ronda Rousey attacking the Authority at WrestleMania 31, Sting debuting on Raw back in January, and James Storm arriving in NXT back in October. So winning the poll was Seth Rollins cashing in Money in the Bank at WrestleMania with 46.7% of the vote. The runner-up being Kevin Owens beating John Cena back at Elimination Chamber with 28.3% of the vote. I mean, there really wasn't an argument here. That match, or the match itself between Lesnar and Reigns, again, in my opinion, one of the best Mania main events in, I don't know if of all time, but definitely in recent memory, especially probably the best main event, in my opinion, since Michaels Taker 26, which we both voted, we both agreed on was the greatest Mania main event of all time back when we did our article, Cheap Plug, on Next to Wrestling back in April. But that moment this year when Rollins cashed in, just everything about that moment was so brilliantly booked. I can't argue. I'm absolutely in agreement. That was the most shocking moment of the year. If there was anything really else that I missed out, let me know. But was that to you, John?
Let's clarify a couple things, because you just said some pretty bold statements all around. So let's clarify a couple things.
Yep.
The finish to the match was probably one of the greatest finishes to a WrestleMania I've seen ever. I mean, personally, that was a great finish. Now, I can't say that Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar was the best WrestleMania main event since Shawn Michaels versus The Undertaker WrestleMania 26, because I thoroughly enjoy Daniel Bryan, Randy Orton, Batista.
Oh, okay. I forgot about that match. I'm sorry.
Despite popular opinion, I really enjoyed John Cena Rock 1. So, but the reason why Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar stands out through all the good matches we've had this year is because everyone loves or is impressed by Brock Lesnar, and everyone was expecting Roman Reigns to kind of hold his own, and really throughout the match, Brock Lesnar was just dominating him in like John Cena fashion circa SummerSlam 2014. Like, everyone was expecting Roman Reigns to kind of hold his own, win the championship, just in typical, like, ugly fashion, like, just something no one wanted to see. And the fact that Lesnar was dominating, Roman Reigns came back with a little bit of offense, and all of a sudden Seth Rollins cashes in. It was just totally not what we were expecting. So I think that the swerve and the finish made the match a little better than what it would have been had the finish not happened. So I think that from a technical standpoint, that match really isn't in the league of other matches we've had in recent years. But I think just because the characters were so great in Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar. Not that the build was great, but I just think that Brock Lesnar has become his own household name, his own entity, of this huge superstar. And then Roman Reigns, he's, the up-and-comer, the underdog. I think that the characters really added, the characters combined with the finish really added to the dynamic of the match. So I think that is what really made the finish of WrestleMania 31 so great.
I agree. I feel like it was the best booked Mania main event in a long time anyway. I mean, with the exception of, Rock beating Cena at 28, which I thought, again, was amazing. I'm with you. I thought that match was great, too. I mean,
I'd say that's probably the most creative finish
yes.
I've seen, not that I've seen live, but probably the most creative finish since Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart going to sudden death at WrestleMania 12.
I agree, especially at a time when WWE feels so creatively stagnant. For them to have Rollins cash in, like you said earlier, it felt like he was going to cash in after the match, not during the match, which first had never been done before. 10 years, almost to the day that the Money in the Bank ladder match debuted at WrestleMania 21. At WrestleMania 31, someone finally cashes in successfully at WrestleMania. Rollins finally wins the title. Roman Reigns doesn't win the title. Lesnar doesn't get pinned, sticks around. He re-signs with the company. You couldn't have booked a better finish. I thought that finish was the absolute best thing they could have done, and something that it wasn't like, oh, what a great finish that we all saw coming that they should have done. No one predicted that. No one saw that coming, which was why it was so great.
I mean, you and I are in the majority of people who thought they knew exactly either Reigns or Lesnar was going to win, and then after the bell rang, and someone's hand was raised, Rollins was going to come down, but just no one expected. I mean, and it's not even a big jump. I mean, Rollins still cashed in. It's just the fact that it happened in between the bells and not after the bells just made it that much more monumental, really. And it's the small things like that that really add to the product.
I agree. Like you said, one of the most creative, well-done finishes. Definitely, easily of the year. I mean, obviously of the year, but even going back to Mania main events, just in terms of things that people did not see coming, even with Rock and Cena. I mean, it was like, oh, Cena might win clean, or Rock might win. I don't know if it's going to be clean. That was shocking, all right, but just no one ever really could have booked this. And like you said, it's not really a stretch. It happened during the match and not afterwards. But just the way it all played out, and just the way that Lesnar wasn't pinned, he still remains technically unpinned since WrestleMania 29, since he broke the streak at 30, so I loved it all around, which contributed to it being my favorite WrestleMania of all time, but I have to agree, definitely most shocking moment of the year.